Hi everyone, I am Premraj Jayaprakash. Welcome to AI All Around. This is a part 2 of my AI transformation presentation. If you saw part 1, you already know the economic forces reshaping AI infrastructure, the 700 billion being deployed, the inference math that broke everyone's prediction, and why platform layer is where strategic differentiation happens. Today, we are shifting from economics to strategy, especially your strategy. How do you position yourself when the foundation stack is changing underneath you? 18 months. That's roughly how long you have before the platform layer hardens, standards locked in, and the winners are established. Over the next session, I want to walk you through four things. First, why timing is more critical than you might assume, and what is this 18-month window really means. Second, why code become the breakthrough domain for AI productivity and what patterns apply to your field. Third, the four specific skills that become more valuable, not less, in an AI augmented environment. And finally, your immediate action plan for the next 12 to 18 months. Because this is not about whether AI is coming or not. AI is already here. The question is, are you going to lead this transition or be disrupted by someone who does? For those who saw part 1, here is a quick recap. For those joining us fresh, here is what you need to know. The big four hyperscalers are deploying roughly $700 billion into AI infrastructure over the next 12 months. This is not speculation. It is response to workload already saturating current capacity. Inference cost is a recurring operational expense of running these models. Account for 80 to 90% of total spend over model's lifetime. Training gets the headline, but inference is where the money goes. Agentic workflow are persistent, long-running process that call APIs, loop through decisions, and monitor state. It consumes potentially 100 to 1000 times more than the simple chatbot interaction. And finally, platform layer is the gap between the raw infrastructure and production ready capability. It is where strategic differentiation happens. Those are the economic forces what we discussed in part 1. Now let's talk about what they mean for you. Let me explain why timing is more critical than you might assume. There is a pattern I have observed across multiple infrastructure cycles. I called it as the platform window. It is the period during which the platform and tooling layers are still fluid, where the standards haven't formed, where the dominant players haven't locked in yet. Right now, we are in that window. The tooling around agents, orchestration framework, monitoring, governance, deployment patterns, it's all in active flux. Based on the past cycle and current velocity, I estimate we have somewhere between 18 to 24 months before this layer hardens. After that, the winners will be established, the standard will emerge, the new entrants will find themselves pushed into narrow, selective roles. At an individual level, this is your window. Over the next 18 to 24 months, you have the opportunity to become the person in your organization or domain who deeply understand how to build, debug, troubleshoot, and scale this kind of systems. If you move now, you establish yourself at the platform layer of your own career. If you wait, you risk getting stuck in pure execution roles that are increasingly automatable. This is not new. This mirrors every prior cycle. Early mobile, early cloud, early containerization. But AI is moving faster. What used to take 5 years is now compressed into 18 months. So let me answer a question you might be thinking. Why did coding become the first major success story for these systems? Why are developers seeing measurable productivity gains before other knowledge work domains? Code is an almost uniquely well structured domain. It has a huge volume of high quality training data, open source repositories, and public code bases. It has an objective feedback mechanism. Does the code compile? Do the test passes? Is the output functionally correct? This made it the ideal proving ground. And the results have been compelling enough to get the attention of every CFO and CTO. GitHub Copilot, which launched in late 2021 and went mainstream in 2022, was the watershed moment that proved this model could work at scale. Let me give you some numbers from production environment. Tasks that are previously took an hour are being completed in roughly half the time, around 55% faster. Developers are saving an average of 3.6 hours per week. Full request cycle that shortened by about 24%. Onboarding timeline for a new engineer have been cut from 91 days to 49 days, a 46% improvement. These aren't projections. These are measured post-deployment results from real engineering organizations. And this ROI in the coding domain is what influenced enterprise and investors that the technology is production ready. It's not vaporware. It delivers measurable value. And now everyone is racing to replicate the same success in adjacent domains. Here is why this matters even if you are not writing a code day to day. The success in coding proved that agentic multi-step tool calling workflows are viable in production. It validated the model. AI systems can handle context-aware iterative process, not just one-shot query or a bot. Now the pattern is being actively pursued in operations, support, analytics, DevOps, incident response, and infrastructure provisioning, where there are repeatable workflows with clear success criteria. Your domain is on the list. The only question is whether you are going to lead the transition or be disrupted by someone who does. So, if we accept that significant portion of implementation and execution work becoming automatable, what's left that remains valuable? What skill set do you double down on? I'm going to walk you through 4. These aren't vague soft skills. These are technical and strategic capabilities that become more valuable, not less, in an AI-augmented environment. First, technical judgment and critical thinking. Agents will produce output. They will generate code. They will propose architectures. They will draft designs. But they cannot judge whether the output is appropriate for your specific context. You understand the constraints that are not in training data, like legacy system dependencies, organizational risk tolerance, performance requirements, cost trade-off, and strategic priorities. Your role becomes, when do I trust agent's proposal? When do I override? How do I structure prompts and workflows so they reflect real-world constraints that the model cannot see? Second, system-level creativity and unique problem-solving skills. Agents are excellent at pattern matching and remixing solutions from their training data. But genuinely unique problems such as situation with no precedent, integration that have never attempted, architecture that don't exist yet, that requires human creativity. You define what and the why. You design new workflows. You architect systems that push beyond established patterns. The agent can help you to execute that vision faster, but it cannot conceive the vision itself. Third, cross-functional communication and stakeholder alignment. Agents can draft documentation. They can generate status report, but they cannot read a room. They cannot navigate organizational politics. They cannot build trust with skeptical stakeholders. You can take control of aligning cross-functional teams and architectural decisions, translating technical trade-offs into business language, influencing executives, negotiating resource allocation, managing risk conversation with compliance and legal. As the technical execution layer accelerates, the bottleneck shifts to alignment and coordination. That's purely a communication, and it's more valuable now than it's ever been. Fourth, continuous learning and the ability to rapidly adapt. The tooling, the model, the best practices, everything is evolving on a monthly cadence. What you mastered this quarter may be obsolete by next quarter. But if you have built the skill of learning, adapting quickly, you stay ahead. This is why experienced engineers who resist this shift are making a strategic error. You have already proven you can navigate difficult changes. You adapted from on-prem to cloud, from monolithics to microservices, from VM to containers. This is just the next transition. Your track record successfully navigating disruption is one of your most valuable assets. Use it now. Let me distill this into simple reality. The divide in the next few years won't be between the people who have access to AI and people who don't. Access will be universal. It will be available for everyone. The real divide will be between those who know how to use this tool strategically, who understand when to deploy them, how to verify their output, how to integrate them into workflows that deliver real business value, and those who don't. Having the tool doesn't make you competitive. Knowing how to orchestrate and govern it effectively does. So let me bring this full circle. In part 1, we talk about how hyperscalers are answering the question, what's our durable value when infrastructure shifts? They are doing by deploying 700 billion. They are betting on controlling the platform layer, the tooling, the ecosystem, and the developer relationships. You need to answer the same question, but at individual career level. What remains valuable when agents can handle a large percentage of your current implementation work? Are you building enterprise at the platform layer, which is strategy, architecture, judgment, cross-functional leadership? Or are you staying focused purely on execution, the layer that's increasingly automatable? In part 1, I opened up saying 700 billion might not be enough. Now you understand why. The inference era is scaling faster than the infrastructure can match. Agent workloads require massive compute and infrastructure. And the platform layer, the tools, the standards, the dominant framework is still wide open. You have somewhere between 18 months before that window closes. The question everyone should ask now, what are we going to build in the next 18 months? Let me connect both parts of my presentation. In part 1, we explored the economic forces, the 700 billion infrastructure build-out, the inference math that broke everyone's predictions, and why platform layer is where strategic differentiation happens. In part 2, we shifted to strategy, the 18-month window, the 4 high leverage skills, and your immediate action plan. The infrastructure is being built right now. The platform layer is still fluid. Standards haven't locked in yet. Your window is still open. The engineers and architects who thrive over the next decade won't be the one who resists this shift. They will be the one who figure out how to use automation to multiply their impact, who free themselves from execution work and focus on strategy, architecture, and the problems only humans can solve. The decisions you make over the next 18 months, what you learn, where you position yourself, what risk you take, will define your career trajectory for the next 10 years. That future is available, and it starts with decisions you make today. Thanks for watching AI All Around. I am Premraj Jayaprakash, sharing practical perspective on artificial intelligence, how it's shaping our enterprise technology. If this helped you, consider subscribing this channel and join the conversation. See you in the next episode.